The non-compete clauses are done and over with. That means you're going to see some former WWE stars pop up everywhere. We're going to talk about Riddle and much more. Don't forget, we're giving away this championship belt once we hit 100,000 subscribers. Welcome back to the Ango Show. I, of course, am Ango. I want to kick things off with Zach Knight. Do you know who this is? This is Saraya's brother, who has made his debut for AEW ROH. It was taped for Ring of Honor. Zach Knight versus Peter Avalon. And, yeah, I mean, look, there's always been a lot of speculation that one of the reasons why Saraya went to AEW was, in potential hopes of, getting her family involved. And we've seen her family involved when they did the Wembley Stadium show. But obviously, Zach Knight is a wrestler, and we've seen him wrestle. We just haven't seen him wrestle for WWE or AEW. But now, Zach Knight was given that opportunity by debuting in Ring of Honor. And I don't have a problem with this. Obviously, Ring of Honor isn't AEW television and whatnot. Ring of Honor is, it's kind of like in its own little world at this moment. But with that being said, Zach Knight has a chance to impress some very important people. And just by, going on social media and talking with people who were there in attendance, a lot of great things were said about Zach Knight. So we'll see what happens. We don't know if Tony Khan is going to bring him in permanently. We don't know if he's going to bring him in and give him a chance for Ring of Honor. We don't know if he's going to put him on AEW television. But this is a debut that has happened. And I'm going to assume more than likely it was a favor to Saraya. Coincidentally enough, Saraya had just taken a clean pinfall loss to Riho. And obviously, we'll see kind of what happens there. I think Saraya hasn't really been utilized that much in AEW. Obviously, there is some risk because of the health issues from before, but at the end of the day, if Tony Khan is happy with this guy and he's a good performer, I don't really see an issue, with him being in Ring of Honor. Now, as far as AEW goes, I still believe 1,000% to the day that Ring of Honor should have a call-up system. You go to Ring of Honor, you work some matches, maybe some storylines, whatever it may be, and then when there is time, when there is an opportunity, then you could get called up to Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. And yes, that is very much what NXT and WWE does with the main roster, but I do feel like that is a better system. I would like to see AEW do that, and I won't feel as bad for AEW if they were to bring people into Ring of Honor with the idea of, hey, eventually the goal is to get to Dynamite. So it could definitely be something that works out in its favor. I want to turn our attention to a new TNA signing. Danny Luna has officially signed with TNA, according to TNA themselves. Obviously, we're getting ready for Hard to Kill. We know TNA just re-signed Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins. Now they have signed Danny Luna. Danny Luna is with Subculture, the incredible tag team that we have seen. And look, Danny Luna is somebody who had a little bit of experience with WWE. She signed with WWE in late 2019. She was part of WWE NXT UK. From what I personally saw in NXT UK, she was never really given a chance to show everybody what she could do. And then obviously she ends up leaving WWE. She shows up in TNA. And the cool thing about TNA, or Impact, whatever you want to refer it to, when you see Danny Luna come in with Subculture, it adds to the presentation of this group being a big deal. But also, when you see her compete in the ring, she's bringing that British strong style to TNA. And obviously, TNA just signed Trent Seven as well. I would have zero problem with TNA also getting inspired by the British strong style and bringing that type of style to their television product. You could have a little bit of everything for everyone. You got the X Division stuff. You got the British strong style stuff. They already have a fantastic knockouts division. This just further strengthens it. Now, the thing about Danny Luna in TNA is that so far from what we have seen, it hasn't been the most impressive in terms of wins, right? We know that she lost to Jody Threat. It's not like Danny Luna's been really given the chance to showcase everything she can do. But I feel like when you make a signing like this, you know, they're going to be doing the Ultimate X match for the women at Hard to Kill. This is a great signing. This is cool. This is what I like about TNA. You don't have to sign the biggest names. What you have to do is sign the right names. And we're not talking about moving the needle or anything like that. In order to move the needle, TNA will have to do that collectively by bringing in talented people from all different styles and all different regions in the world, bring them together and continue to put out a good product. And collectively, you will be able to draw big business. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited anytime TNA brings in a signing because I feel like the big misconception is that TNA doesn't have money. They do have money. We have seen that they are making money. We have seen that TNA is putting out a good product. We just aren't seeing TNA with the same following that AEW or WWE has. And in order to get that type of following, you have to have serious money. You have to have investors. So in order to get those types of things, it doesn't happen overnight. You cannot sell somebody on the vision overnight. What you need to do is show people, hey, we are a brand that under a previous regime had struggled. Now there's a new regime, and in the last 5 years, this is what we've done, and this is what we will continue to do. And as you continue to do it, investors, fans, people will eventually buy in, and that's the overall picture. The overall picture for Matt Riddle includes MLW. Very interestingly enough, a couple days ago, there was a tweet that went out with a local advertisement for Jacob Fatu versus Matt Riddle. Now Matt Riddle has been confirmed for MLW. They are doing the Kings of Coliseum show at the 2300 Arena January 6th, 2023. There was a lot of confusion as to whether or not Matt Riddle would actually be on this show. Now, PW Insider has confirmed with MLW sources that Matt Riddle is headed to Major League Wrestling. Now, this is the first, based on those recent crop of releases, Matt Riddle's the first one who has been publicly announced for a TV-taped wrestling company. Yes, we've seen Mason and Mansoor. We've seen them on Deadlock, and we'll see them do some other stuff. We'll see Top Dollar, AJ Francis, and GCW. But in terms of the four wrestling companies in the United States that are actually on TV, keep in mind MLW has a TV deal with BN Sports. Matt Riddle's the first one out of that group that will be able to actually show up on TV. So look, I'm excited about it. I'm excited for MLW to see what they can do. I'm not the biggest Matt Riddle fan, but as far as wrestling goes, Matt Riddle can go. So I will be very intrigued to see what happens here. What happens next? Is this permanent? Is this temporary? That is something I'm looking forward to. What do you guys think? Let me know down below.